This week on Outsider Reviews, we have the Volvo XC90. And I have a love-hate relationship with this vehicle. Stay tuned to find out why. So for those that are new to the channel, my name is Patrick, and behind the camera we have Brian. We're just a couple of guys doing car reviews from an outsider's perspective. We have nothing to do with any manufacturers. We just get to borrow these vehicles for a week, test them, give you our honest opinion. So let's start right away with the Volvo XC90. It's a mild hybrid. This is the B, as in Bravo, B6 powertrain. So the XC90 B6 all-wheel drive, this is the ultimate trim, quite the mouthful. It can start as this core trim at 75,000 Canadian or 57,000 US. Then it goes up from there to 80,000 for the plus trim, 61,000 US, 86,000 for the ultimate, or $70,000 US. Now we have the ultimate trim here, which gives you everything, and they've actually managed to find a couple options to add on top of that. So as shown here in this video, this is $90,000 Canadian. This vehicle has a 2-liter turbo 8-speed transmission, which puts out 295 horsepower and 310 pounds-feet of torque. Fuel economy in the city is 11.9 liters or 28 miles per gallon. 9.1 on the highway, or 26 miles per gallon on the highway, and for a combined of 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, as we look at the front, there is no change for the Volvo XC90, and I don't suspect it's going to be until the EX90, which is the electrical version, is going to take over. But as we can see in the front, we have our signature Thor lights, Thor's hammer lights, and the classic Volvo front grille, which is what makes this car kind of pop out when you're looking at it exactly from the front. Everything is LED, as you would expect from a luxury brand vehicle. Other than that, that's pretty much your front end right here. It does have fog lights, and like I said, this is basically a model that's been running around for almost a decade. It's been 8 years running, and they haven't changed much, but let's take a look at what's new this year. Now, what's this vehicle riding on today is 21-inch wheels, and we do have the winter tires on because we had our first snowstorm, and snow kind of tends to stick around here when you're in northern Quebec. Also, we do have basically keyless entry, and our mirrors are auto folding. Now, if you look at the position of the vehicle right now, our vehicle has the active air suspension, which means if I turn this vehicle off, it will lower itself. And it's slowly lowering itself to make it easier to get in and out. Not by much, but it's actually something pretty cool that you notice when you get out of the vehicle and you start hearing this noise. Well, that's what it's doing. It's lowering itself for easy approach and departure. Let's take a look at the back. Now we're going to look at the back end. What we have is Volvo written out, bold letters, XC90 badge, and like I said, this runs on the B6 powertrain. It is a 4-cylinder vehicle engine, but they call it their B6, which is a mild hybrid. To open it, you have lots of options. You have the key fob, you have the hatch, or you have hands-free kicking, where you can find yourself kicking for more than once just to actually get it. If you guys have been there, please comment below. Make sure I'm not the only one who can't find the kicking motion. Back here, we have 15 cubic feet of space with all the rows up. We also have adjustments for the suspension back here. If you want to elevate it, if you want to bring it down, the buttons are down or over here. And we actually have hooks for your groceries, which is actually well thought of. A lot of these things have been thought of pretty good by Volvo. We also have a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter over here. Now, to put the seats down, it's manual, so basically you tip, and I like that the headrest folds in, making it easy, and it lies pretty flat. Now with the second row down, you're looking at 41 cubic feet of space. So you can put both seats down, they just fold very easy, they're nice and flat. Now you can fold the third row and get 85 cubic feet of space. Not bad, not great for 3-row SUVs, but it's actually, we're gonna take a look inside and see how comfortable it is. Now we're at the point where you guys are all come here to watch, and that's for me to get into the third row of a compact SUV, 7-passenger SUV. So let's see how graceful I can make this happen. It's not gonna be graceful. So the latch is over here, you push the seat forward, and then you get in. Oh God. All right. So once we're in, it's actually not that bad as far as space. I have my own cup holders, and I actually have a storage compartment right here with a spider web and a spider in it. I like that they've incorporated us as well. We have our own ventilation system, which is actually good. You have a quad zone ventilation system in this vehicle. Now, this is meant for kids. You would not see me sitting here for a road trip as an adult, but I'm 5'9", and you get some storage here as well. And you know what? It's not that bad for this size of vehicle. Now out here in the second row, it's a completely different story than the third row, as it usually is. I have quite a bit of space, again, 5'9", and I actually love when you're looking at the doors, you have your Bose and Wilkins sound system, which is $3,700 upgrade here in Canada. But you also have this wood trim, this wood fabric right here, which actually feels and looks very good. You have your speaker system, and it's all soft touch. There's no hard plastic anywhere, which you would expect from a luxury brand, right? But not everybody has that. Some still use hard plastic, which I'm against, especially for luxury. Now your ventilation is up here and as well down here, so very good ventilation for people in the second row. And you have your own climate controls right here attached to the back of the center console, and a 12-volt charger as well. Now I will say this, there's a bit of a lack of USB ports, from USB-A to USB-B, USB-C ports for charging back here. You do have your 12-volt plugins, but where they make up for that is this functionality. This, my friend, is a built-in booster seats. So if you pick up some extra kid somewhere, I don't advise doing that, but you actually have a built-in extra booster seat if you don't have one. Actually, even if you do have one, you don't really need it because you have it right here. Now, as well as cup holders. Now, I don't know why they have that covered up. I mean, I guess it's easier to keep clean. But these cup holders are actually very small. There's not a whole lot of bottles that will actually fit in these cup holders, which is one of my negative points for the back seat. Otherwise, seats are very comfortable. They are reclinable as well. Each segment can recline. So if I want to be reclined, the people next to me don't have to be, but they can if they want to, as well as the middle seat. Cargo pockets, as always, very appreciated, and overall very comfortable back here. We have the panoramic sunroof that helps lighten up everything up, and we do have the lounge option, which is an additional option on top of the ultimate trim, which gives you this furry little carpet upholstery in the top over here. I couldn't care less for it being there or not, but you know what, if that's your thing, go for it. Let's take a look up front. Now here we are at the workstation for the driver, which is actually a very comfortable seat. Now a little bit rigid in the bottom, but for the back, definitely good to go. Now we're gonna start with the doors. Again, same theme as we see in the rear doors. Is you got the wood trim, the metallic speakers, and we actually have our memory settings right there. Window settings and mirror settings. Everything is soft touch, like I said. There's no hard plastic, except for, actually not even down here. It's actually soft touch everywhere. So you do get the luxury feel from that standpoint. And that follows through right here. You got your instrument cluster, which is a 12-inch digital display. And I love that it's linked to the Google system. The operating system of this vehicle is a Google system, which works really good. You sign into your Google straight from the vehicle, and it takes, you know, your account info and everything and loads it up right there. So you don't have to project your phone. You can still link your phone to it, but the Google Maps actually pops up right here in front. This does have as well as a heads-up display, and you have your controls here for your steering wheel, which is standard for changing your settings and such. Cruise control, volume, music. You have your light stock right here and your windshield wiper stock right over here. As far as the steering goes, the steering feels actually quite light and responsive. Now, that is one of the key points from this vehicle is the handling. This vehicle handles like a sports car. It does have the upgraded air suspension, the four-corner air suspension, which could be a big factor for it. But the acceleration point of this vehicle, for a four-cylinder especially, you won't notice a difference between a 6 and a 4 in this vehicle because it's that good for accelerating at high speed as well. Now we're going to go on to the digital here screen. It's a 8-inch screen. You have, like I said, Google interface working for you, and you have your climate controls over here. So climate controls are always at the bottom, and you just click on it. So you do have to go through the screens to fine-tune your quad zone. So 4-zone, front passenger, front driver, second row, and third row. Those are the zones. And you can also press the little camera button and you have your 360 view. Now you can press the 360 view and you have access to all the cameras that you click on, and it actually shows on the, let's say you want to access the left camera, it'll show on the left side of the screen, which I find it pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool feature. And you can install any app that you would like that you could usually install from your Android phone. You can install it right on the vehicle. A lot of people are moving to Google. GM is doing that as well, and I think it's catching on pretty good. I had no issues with this interface. You do have some analog buttons right here for the music control, volume control, defrost, and hazard lights. Now we're going to move down to here. So you have these luxurious covers right here, which looks very nice when it's closed. Most of the time it's going to be open because we have, you know, coffees, hot chocolates, and what have you. What you don't see here, now this is a big omission on my side, is there's no wireless charger, nor are there any USB-A or USB-C ports to charge your phone. You have the 12-volt cigarette lighter adaptation, and that kind of shows, perhaps this is where Volvo shows the aging design, because this is an 8-year-old design and it's aged very well from the instrument clusters and everything. But when you get to here, it's now expected to have either a wireless charger or some kind of plug-in ports to have it. Now the crystal shifter here, which comes with the Ultimate, is quite nice. Not a must in my opinion, but my wife actually thought this is like the first thing she knows, like, ooh, nice. So that's your Triptonic shifter, and your start stop is actually a switch that you just flick to the side. You have your parking brake right here and your auto start stop button right there. Now if you look inside this cubby is where you have your USB-C ports, so your phone would literally have to be in here connected. And when you look inside of this, you know, center console is not exactly spacious. So overall, glove box. I forgot the glove box, the little buttons over here. And you have a very spacious glove box. That is actually quite handy. Overall, the whole appearance of it, the soft touch, the materials, everything is top notch. The functionality, however, of it, I would think would need a little bit of refresh, a little bit of improvement. We'll see if Volvo adheres to that or if they just go with the EX90, which is actually very different on all aspects. Now it's time to take it for a drive, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, time to hit the road with Volvo's XC90 mild hybrid. Oh, yes. Yes. So final thoughts, we're gonna dive right into what just happened there. Excellent acceleration. This vehicle has extremely good, and the sound of it just purrs. I love this vehicle for that. Remember we talked about a love-hate relationship? Well, that's what you'll fall in love with when you get this vehicle. The seat comfort, I mean, it's pretty comfortable. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable seat that I've ever been in, but they're pretty comfortable. But you're gonna fall in love with the handling of it. That 4-corner air suspension is just amazing. It takes speed bumps as smooth as butter. It takes corners, no problem. The 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which is supercharged and turbocharged, it just handles very, very well as far as acceleration. I mean, no complaints. High speeds, low speeds, the torque is there. You're not gonna have any issues. Sound system, amazing. Definitely a plus. But I mean, this is the upgrade. We're paying here in Canada an extra $3,700 for it. So, I mean, it comes with a Harman Kardon sound system to start with. So, I mean, that might be just good enough for anybody. But the Bowers and Wilkins, oof, very crisp, very deep bass, very good. The interface, I have no issues with the interface. A lot of people may not like it, that it's Google. I mean, if you have an iPhone, nobody cares what you think anyways. So I'm just kidding. But the Google interface works very well, seamless. And actually, it just heard me talk to it right now. Cancel that. There you go. So yeah, you can just tell the Google, turn on my heated seats or turn on my heated steering wheel or set cabin temperature to this. It'll do it. I love it. I love this system. So we just took care of all the love parts. Here's the nitty-gritty. Functionality. This whole workstation here does not work for me. It's a Triptonic shifter. You should have enough room to put a pass-through in there, like the Volkswagen Atlas has, which we reviewed not too long ago. Check out that video. A place for a wireless charger. You should have room for more room than what we have here. The center console is so minimalist that it's not big enough. So on that aspect, that's a fail. The cup holders in the back for my kid, that's also a fail. I mean, even the side parts of it are not that great, like alongside the doors are not that great. So what are we talking about here? Like, these are my complaints. Well, I'll have another one, which is for a hybrid. I'm going to contradict myself right here. The miles per gallon, my average is around 21 miles per gallon. This is a hybrid. Yes, I just said it offers plenty of torque, plenty of power, plenty of speed. Well, to get away from these guys. But you do lose out on the fuel economy. Like in Canada, I'm averaging right now at 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers. I have seen vehicles this size do much better than that. So, do I recommend this vehicle? Well, personally, I'm not sure I would go with it, just because the outdated functionality of it, that just bugs me enough to say, you know what, I would probably pass on this vehicle. But personally, you guys have to make that decision. What matters most to you? Because this does drive like a dream. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please give us a thumbs up, a big like, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw today, and we'll be coming out with more content as we go. Until then, we'll see you later. I'm not limber.